Alrighty, now it is actually day 6 of talking to the camera for 10 minutes, and today is Valentine's Day. Yeah, and I want to talk about all the single ladies out there who are experiencing Valentine's without a significant other partner. Yeah. I never really get sad on Valentine's Day, and I think that is such a blessing because every single Valentine's Day, my mom and dad would get me and my siblings a gift. And so it was just like an automatic, you're my Valentine. And so in so many ways, I had built-in Valentines. And yeah. So I never really get sad, but I do understand the weight of Valentine's Day sometimes. But I thought it would be fun to give some encouragement because I recently have gotten to a point in my life where I'm so content in my singleness. And that isn't for me to be like, yeah, whatever, I'm content. No, seriously, when I tell you, I am the biggest simp romanticizer, hopeless romantic. I mean it. Yeah, because there was there's a point where I've had crushes constantly, and I am just the biggest hopeless romantic. I love romance movies. I love the books. You see a little half of those, not even half, 3/4 of it are just romance books. However, I have gotten to a point in my life where my relationship with the Lord is so I'm able to delight in it so much. And the video before this talks about how I was struggling, I am struggling currently, but that doesn't change the fact that I still am so overwhelmed with the relationship I have with the Lord, and his goodness, and that if I died today, it would have been a great. But yeah, so I think there's such a, oh my gosh, there's such a stigma, or this emphasis, especially in the Christian world, for dating and being in a relationship, and it's all good and amazing, and I definitely agree. There is, not that there's all of it is good, but there is something special about having another person that you can go to and I don't know, share things with and experience life with, and I think that's beautiful, and it's such a reflection of our relationship with God, and yeah, all that fun stuff. But things that have allowed me to really enjoy my singleness is friendships with the WOGs, women of God. Oh my goodness, yesterday I had a meeting with I'm part of this ministry, but we have a sub ministry that is for seniors, and so I had a meeting with one of the girls who leads it, one of the ladies who leads it, but then also one of my best friends who is a WOG herself, and it was just so fun. It was kind of not fun because we were reflecting on a pretty deep, heavy life stuff, but it was sweet, and we got to just, I don't know, love each other well in the vulnerability, and still see and point out to each other the goodness of God in each other's lives, despite the hardness and hardship. Then after that, I went to go to my discipler's house with the 2 girls that are in my discipleship group, and we made ceramic coasters out of little tiles, and it was so fun and sweet, and we were there for kid you not, 4:35, 3 hours just talking, and we had these popsicle sticks that had fun questions on them, and we just got to talk and experience fellowship and community the way that God kind of designed it to be. We're not supposed to be living life in isolation and by ourselves. And that was such a beautiful experience and picture of what God wants us to experience in this life. And then afterwards, the same two girls I was making little ceramics with, my wogs, we had a sleepover and we made pizza, and we bought frozen pizza, cut it into a heart for the sake of Valentine theme, and then we watched a movie and just talked about life and God and relationships, even like singleness and dating and marriage and all those things. And like it was such a mix of serious conversations, but then also like laughs and giggles and different jokes and shenanigans that I'm like, girl, this only makes sense with like between us three, like, or this conversation is so funny. And like I just think about that, and there's so many like friendships that I can continue to like pour into. And that's not to say that in a relationship you can't do that. Like obviously you can't have your relationship be the only like friendship that you have. It is so important to have like other friendships, but like in this time of my life, I am just able to pour into my bestest friends full-heartedly, and serve the Lord together with each other and have sleepovers with each other. And my friend literally lives down the street, and I could just be like, hey girl, you want to cook dinner together? And we went and cooked dinner together. I'm like, hey girl, I'm about to let's lock in together. And I'm not saying that like this ends when you get in a relationship, but there's something so sweet about like having all this time to pour into all these friendships, and designate it well. Another thing that I've been delighting in, and this could be like the independent girl in me or whatever, but I just am able to, I don't know, make decisions and do things fully like on my own. I don't know if that's right by saying that, but like if I want to go, like if God is calling me to go overseas on a mission, then like, girl, I'm gonna go overseas on a mission. Like I don't have to consider necessarily like a partner. And I don't know, I don't want to make it sound like I don't want to bog on like people in relationships, obviously, because like both are brilliant and amazing. But I just also want to like show that there's so much fruit in singleness, and even Paul talks about it in the Bible. And I don't want to misquote the dude, like love him. But like even he was single and was able to like go to all these places and minister to people in a way that like could be a little difficult if you were in a relationship, marriage, XYZ. And also, I have been like loving this process of being, I don't know, just like learning about myself and learning about God, and it's just me and him. I don't know, something about it is just so intentional and intimate, and like truly I am so like satisfied in who God is and who he is like to me and his character, that I'm like, this is great, you know, this life is amazing. And yeah, just being satisfied in like who he is, and more than satisfied, like full, like I'm on my 5th plate of dessert after saying that I won't eat dessert, you know. I don't really know if that makes sense, but yeah, I just think that singleness is such a sweet time, and maybe a time that is like a forever thing, you know. And this is like the life God has for you, and maybe it's not, but regardless, it is something that we can steward so well. And like with all this free time I have, and oh my gosh, I'm trying to like not I'm seriously trying not to dog on people in relationships. Like, that is not my intention. But, like, I have all this free time to be like, hey girl, wanna get coffee? Or like, hey, I met this girl and I'm gonna like go meet up with her on a random Wednesday evening. And there's just so much like time to steward friendships and flourish friendships and start friendships and pour into the relationships that you have now with such intention. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just like, in this time of my life, I am so grateful for the community that God has gifted me with and the ability to steward it well and love the girlies well. And it's, I mean, especially with it being my last semester, just like cherishing all the little memories before we like part ways in life. And that's not to say like we're never going to speak to each other again, but you know, the reality is after college people move away, people get jobs. One of my friends is moving like to a different country probably, and it's just like, yeah, you know, this is a very kind of weird time where everything is like a last, like I just went to my last basketball game. Like that is, I don't know. So I just want to encourage you guys that, you know, being in a relationship sounds great. I mean, I've never been in one, but it sounds great. But don't constantly be looking and thinking like the grass is greener on the other side. I think I've said this before, but water the grass that you're standing on right now, because the reality is like this is where God has you, and waiting for the next thing and being like, oh, it would be better if this, like this is great, but no buts. Like this is where God has you, and he has you here for a reason, in singleness, in dating, and it's so sweet and it's good. And go on dates with God. Hello, like those are really fun. I like to go on little walks and talk to God, or even just sit in nature for like 2 hours and just be like, God, you're so good in your creation. Highly recommend going on dates with God. It's very fun. And yeah, anyways, I hope this was encouraging and not like this, oh, hello, burp, not disrespectful in any sort of way or dogging on people. But I used to get super caught up in like, that would be so fun to be in a relationship, and like one day when this happens, and it's like, yeah, if that's what God has for me, that's what God has for me. But life right now is pretty great, and I love the ladies in my life that I get to love well. And yeah, I don't know, Valentine's Day is fun, it's great, and well, it's not fun because I have 3 exams next week that I need to study for, but you know, I can just chill and make myself a nice little dinner while reflecting and talking to God and read and study. But you know, it has to be done. It has to be done. But yeah, I hope this encourages someone out there who is like, oh, Valentine's Day. Yeah, put on some good tunes. Put on your music. Make yourself a nice little dinner. Talk to God. Thank him for all the relationships and friendships that he's given you, and all the blessings that he's given you in your life. And enjoy your night. Yeah. So that's it. Bye.